Hello, friends. Just a short video that I'm going to put in front of a lot of our current deep dive videos that we're doing on Now is the Terminator. I just wanted to give a shout out. If people aren't aware, Thomas Tenney, who did the art on a lot of the issues of uh, Now's Terminator series and was the artist on Marvel's Force Works for the first handful of issues, is having health issues. Um, and he's also having money issues. And he created a GoFundMe. And I guess the goal is 20,000, and he's already at like 13, $14,000. But I'm going to put a link in the description down below. If you feel the need to help him out, if you've read any of his work, he's done many other things other than Terminator and Force Works. He's been the artist on a bunch of indie books. Um, but again, I just wanted to make a quick little shout out uh, to make you aware that yet another artist that we've all seen his art, we've all read the comics that he's drawn, is going through a hardship. So please look in the description for the link to his GoFundMe. If you can donate, that would be excellent. That would be awesome to help Thomas Tenney out. Thank you again, and we will continue with the deep dive. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another deep dive as we go into the Terminator #2. I'm Mark Stanislawski. I am also Good Ideas Comics. Welcome as we try to find some of the best indie comics that you've never read. And these deep dives, we're doing 1988's Now Comics The Terminator. I will leave a shortcut link in the description box to the video for issue 1, and maybe put up a card or something at the end of this video as well. Or you can just go into my profile there, my channel, click videos, click newest video. It'll be right there. We're going to try to get through this series as fast as we can. Usually it's a video a week. I might get lucky and throw up a couple of videos in a row, a couple days a week to try and like get through it. But this and this is also a newsstand. So issue 1 was a newsstand. Issue 2 is a newsstand. I got these off eBay, I think for like $4 a piece, I want to say, or $5 a piece. Kind of expensive, but cover not as good as Mitch O'Connell's first issue cover, but Akins and Brosman did this cover. Still not a bad cover. Not a bad cover. This issue I found to be just as action packed as the first issue. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Guest written by Tony Caputo, who's the publisher and editor in chief of Now Comics. As you know, if you saw last video, and I almost said last issue, Fred Schiller wrote the first issue. Now I don't know if he's coming back because that says guest written, or if he only wrote the first issue, set up the story, and then Caputo, guest wrote this issue, and then while trying to find like a regular writer to take over the Terminator series. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. Aiken did the art in the first. This is illustrated by Thomas Tenney. Jim Brosman stays on as the inker. Tony Akins, Brosman did the cover, as we just saw. A nice cover. Again, we open with a fight scene with this group taking on some Terminators. And again, just action, just action. There's the flying ship. This looks weird. This is supposedly a Terminator because they blew up the little nest. You know, of course, that isn't going to kill a Terminator, as we know if you saw the movie. I watched the movie again just the other day as a refresher. I watched it prior to doing the video for issue one, and then watched it again just to see if there was something I missed concerning the flesh on the Terminators. Because as we saw in issue one, there's a flesh farm, what they call it, where uh, apparently they take the flesh right off human people and put it on the Terminator. I'm not really quite sure how that works. We're going to get to that later. But yeah, this looks like a really weird looking Terminator there. Uh, you know, this guy gets it right here because he just went crash bang forward right into it. That was kind of stupid. Like this shot here. I like this shot. Close up, like the mouth, like the face, the lines. Yeah, really good stuff. Uh, Terminators back him into a into a building, and it turns out that the building is full of weapons, plasma rifles. So you know, they just have regular guns with bullets, so that isn't going to do much for Terminators. But now they have something to even the odds. They have the Terminator's own weapons. So yeah, and there's a kid. There's a kid with the group. Two kids actually, and they are just fighting Terminators. And the kid takes a plasma rifle and just can't control it, loses it, hits a box of grenades, and the whole friggin' shack goes up. Yeah, this is some decent art. Thomas Tenney. I don't know who Thomas Tenney is. I'm going to have to look him up and see if he did anything. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Um, so we think they're all dead, right? Kind of weird. We go back to where we were at the end of the first issue, where everybody wants to kill this guy because they think he's a Terminator. Now, these are the moon people. And they came from the moon. Again, I'm not a big fan of them introducing moon people. They were stranded on the moon, but they kept working, doing scientific advances. So they're pretty advanced up there on the moon, and that's probably part of the reason why I don't like them. You know, they still had to come down to Earth to get other stuff. Watch the previous video; we explained it all there. Just to get some essentials from Earth, and they had cloaking device on their ship and all this other stuff. And the reason why I don't like it is because it gives the humans, it's a MacGuffin, you know, it gives the humans an even hand against the Terminators, you know, now, which they don't really need. You know, now they have this scientific advancement stuff that these moon people can give them to kind of even the odds, which, again, I don't really like. They also have like this cyborg who, again, you find out he is like a cyborg, but his name is Conrad. Yeah, I don't like that idea. But it is what it is. That's where we're at. They want to kill him. The people on Earth want to kill him, but they wind up not killing him. So then we go back to the battle. So this is all just, um, you know, information, right? But it's good because it's short information. It's only 2 pages. And it does give you a bunch of information on Conrad. So that's cool. We go back. Everybody's dead. There's Johnny O. That's his name. Johnny O is dead. These 2 kids are the only ones that somehow lived that explosion. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. But You know, they're still trying to kill these Terminators. And they say, hey, it's a good idea because the ship landed, their Terminator little jump ship landed. So the kids have the bright idea, hey, we'll steal the jump ship. You know, of course, the Terminator's after them, and they think they can just fly away with it, but they can't because, and it makes total sense, is that the Terminators don't fly the ship. Skynet controls the ship. Makes total sense, right? So I'm on board with that, sure. But these two kids say, hey, you know, let's open this door. The door was, you know, was busted, so it's open. We're going to jump out of this ship flying, you know, who knows how fast into a river, stream, whatever you want to call it, from God knows how high up, 100 feet, maybe. Probably not a good idea, but they do it, and that's, you know, that's where we leave that. We cut again. I will say, if nothing else, Caputo knows how to craft a story. Okay, he knows when to cut. He knows when to go to the next scene and come back. Uh, yeah, definitely. You would think that maybe the publisher, editor in chief, he might know a little bit, but he may not know exactly how to craft the story, but he does. So kudos to him. So now we're back to Sarah Slammers and the Moon People. They're talking about going onto that flesh farm. Well, this is only a one pager now. See, it's little short cuts, and that's great. And then they're hoping to assault that flesh farm. Then we go back to the kids. The boy's okay. The girl's kind of not looking so good. She's got blood coming from her nose. She's unconscious. Probably has a concussion and possibly internal bleeding. You know, not a good idea to jump from that ship, dude. Uh, but they jumped and they just happened to see the base, the silo base where Sarah Slammers and the Moon People are hiding out. Now this is weird because, you know, they're in there, they're talking, and then there are explosions happening, and you know, grenades are going off, explosions are happening, but the thing is that nice shot right here, right? So we're going to skip forward. It's the kids who's shooting up the thing, and he's saying, oh, I thought this was a Terminator base. But it's weird because here he says, I found some place, it ain't a Terminator place, too dirty, and where there's a place, there's a medic. So he knows it's humans are there, but he shot it up anyway with grenades. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Thinking that later on he says, because you ain't gonna get my skin. This will do more damage. Me and metal maggots. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he thinks they're Terminators, but here he said it can't be a Terminator place because the place is too clean. Anyway, it's kind of weird. Might have been a mistake. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so now with all these explosions, uh, the Moon People and Sarah Slammers are like, we got to get out of here because it's going to draw Terminators to us with all the noise. They had to stay quiet. So Yeah, but I like this. They move around, they flank them, but I like this, right? Because when you're writing comics, you have to keep in mind, okay, here's the reveal. You don't want the reveal to be here so that you can see the reveal here. You want to flip a page. So he kept track of what page he was on, and good job again, Tony Caputo. And the reveal is a splash page. So yeah, great storytelling. Um, Reveal, turn the page, splash page reveal. I mean, yeah, you can't do any better than that. Uh, they're still talking to the kid, yelling at him. The kid thinks they're gonna keep that they're Terminators and that they're gonna kill him, and they're like, no way, man. And this is all just talking, talking, talking. And it's weird because sometimes they call them Gators, but sometimes somebody else says Naders, which makes sense, right? Terminator, Naders. But sometimes they say Gators. So I don't know if that's an error or so. The Naders make sense. The Gators doesn't make sense to me. You know, but yeah, they're just talking where they don't know what to do with the kid. Uh, of course, Conrad comes in and say we have Naders in 10 minutes, Terminators. So yeah, they want the kid to hand his gun, so they take the gun from the kid. I know at some point he knows Sarah Slammers, and they ask the kid his name. Come on, where are you? He was part of Johnny O's. Johnny O! Was Johnny O your brother? Johnny O knew John Connor, so we have a name drop here, right? Johnny O knew John Connor, and they asked the kid what his name is, and his name is Reese, Tim Reese. So he is the younger brother of Kyle Reese. So we have a connection. We have connections to the movies happening. Again, it's a great issue, action packed, a lot of tension, great reveal, good writing, good art, and yeah, I mean, this is a good series. I don't know why I didn't buy this when it came out because I was 10 years into comic collecting. But two issues in, and I'm already in it for the long haul. These have been two very good issues. Uh, you know, no problem. I think when we go into the third issue, we're going to talk about Tom Tenney and see if he's done anything and see who the writer is and who that. But yeah, Terminator number two thumbs up, good issue, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you for issue 3, and maybe they're going to talk about the Flesh Farm. Yeah, when I watched the Terminator again, and all Kyle Reese says is that uh, flesh, hair, blood, it's all grown for the Terminator, grown for the cyborgs. To me, that means grown in like a laboratory setting. It's a robotic, all automatic laboratory setting. The comic is doing something different than the show. I mean, obviously I don't think this is it's based on the movie, but I think it's doing a totally different story, not connected to the movie universe in any way. From what I'm thinking, just from the first couple issues, it's going to be a totally different parallel universe version of the future. Because this takes place in 2031. Kyle Reese went back to the past to save Sarah Connor in 2029. So this is 2 years after Kyle Reese went back. So more exciting info. Again, that's going to do it for this one. We hope to see you for the next video as we continue our deep dive into 1988's Now Comics, The Terminator. And as always, we'll see you in the funny pages.